3, 2, 1. Hi guys, Dale here from Shibalo here at the beautiful Hallmark Farm on a glorious summer day. Today we're going to be talking about the FreeJump X'AIR. Now this is a product we've had for a while in the shop, but we continue to get questions about it regarding the sizing, the canisters, and a few other little technical questions. So we just thought we'd try to address some of those today. So April has very kindly come on down. April's in the X'AIR. April's had this for coming up six months. So this is the extra small. So when it comes to the sizing, we don't want it sitting up too tall, particularly across there, because what we've got to be mindful of is that when the bladder inflates, we don't want it going up there and knocking the helmet forward. So really important in terms of, and April, can you just move your arms, like as in if you were, so lots of freedom of movement, lots of flexibility, but not sitting up too high. And the next part is really important, is how low it goes down in terms of, we want coverage down there. We want it covering the lower lumbar, but at the same time, you can turn it around now. At the same time, we don't want it sitting too low, because if April was to say go down a drop, if she's leaning back, we don't want that part going into the back of the saddle and impacting her ability to sit. Now, we talk about how much the vest goes up. April being in the extra small, the canister size is actually an 18 gram. And that's really important because different size vests for FreeJump have different size canisters, and also different styles. The airbag is a different canister altogether. So that's the question, that hopefully addresses some of the questions there. Thank you for that. We were going to be joined by Megan this morning. We got a message to say we actually been upgraded. So this next individual who's going to talk a little bit about the vest for us and what they're feeling, someone who's just returned from a campaign overseas, James Deacon. Thank you so much for...
The marketing budget was a bit low. You have to maybe adjust the old budget there to get me in.
What I thought, James, having a motorcycle background and that understanding of the way those air vests and back protectors work, I just thought you could also talk a little bit about what you're feeling, what you're noticing, because this is one of the first times that you've actually had this vest on. And obviously you're going to be riding in it later on this year as you return to competition.
So I've just been bought a new horse, so I might be out there at some point this year. But yeah, it was interesting riding the bikes. We never really had this type of technology, certainly not the air vest when I started. We had sort of a race plate. It was very loose fitting and probably did a bit more damage than it did protection. We did get this type of stuff, not the air vest, but more the armadillo back and the armour. And it just felt like you were held together. It just felt like you were really strong and invincible. And that's exactly the same feeling I get from this. And this feels literally like I have a back protector on. It does not feel like an air vest whatsoever. I've always listened to the bride's comments on that, because she, obviously riding a little bit higher level than I do, has to do a lot more and get going and do things that I sort of don't, because I'm just sitting there hyperventilating. But the freedom I have in this, especially in the arms and the back, and it was interesting your comment about the lumbar, because I feel that down there. And going over a jump, or not a jump, a bank, or slipping your reins into water, you do move around so much in the saddle. And this is actually, it feels like it's actually keeping my posture better, to be honest with you. So it feels a lot more free, nowhere near as restrictive as the motorbike stuff you mentioned before. And it just doesn't feel like an air vest whatsoever. And also a really interesting point about the canisters, the amount of clients that we have, April included, that asked me to chuck a canister in. And I don't think you guys have had the wrong one before, but the amount of people who've bought the wrong canister. So, because there are so many on the market, or there's old vests on the market, or you've just bought a new vest and you've had an old canister in the drawer. So that's really interesting to note, and also interesting to know that you don't need a big one if you're a wee tacker or vertically challenged, like April over there. Yeah, this feels amazing. Fits like a glove.
Well, what we're going to do is zip that up all the way through. Can't have a X'AIR demonstration without having the vest go off. So, James, you ready? I'll count.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready? You're not ready. There is a little bit of trembling here. So, 3, 2, 1. So, how does that fit? Now that it's gone off, you were talking that it didn't feel like an air vest. Maybe actually just turn, and maybe you can actually hear that the vest is already starting to deflate, in terms of it's an instantaneous pop and then it starts deflating. I know you said before it didn't feel like an air vest, but what's
so I can feel the air cells around coming down through my chest, down over my ribs in the front here, and then basically the same symmetry through the back. It's either side of my spine. So if I was to fall on something or over a jump, right now it feels like that air would take all of that. That's the first time I've ever had one of these go off. So initially, bang, it's a bit of a sensation, and then almost, well, I won't say instantly, but within probably 5 seconds, I could feel it deflating. And so if I was having that shock of hitting the ground or having a horse jump on me or something like that, instantly this is giving me more time to breathe.
Yeah.
So,
And that's
and
the
right
other-
now, I'd say it's
Yeah, it's all right. And
nearly back to normal.
as you said, like when it went off, you still had flexibility. So if you needed to get out of the way quickly or that, you're not feeling like, as you said, with the motocross vest where you're just sort of stuck.
Yeah,
So
correct. Yeah.
hopefully that explains it to everyone a little bit about the vest, the sizing, and also what happens and what to expect, you know, when you are having them on. So if you've got any queries, drop us a comment or contact us at the shop. We'd be more than happy to answer your questions.